Yo everyone, thanks for joining me once again for Larry's full card betting guide. This weekend we have Noche UFC, Lopes vs Silva to look forward to, and I am keen to go through some of my own bets and ideas for betting opportunities for the card. If you guys do want to know how I went on the last fight night and all my thoughts on that event, my full card recap and reaction for UFC Paris and Mavov vs Baralho is linked in the description of this video. But to move on this week, I'll be going through absolutely everything in this betting guide, from who I picked to win each fight, my own strong favorites and solid underdogs, my favorite lock of the card and underdog lock of the card, and to finish off, I will walk you guys through all my own personal bets just so you can see what I've decided to do with all the research I've put into this card. I will also be live streaming a fight companion for this card this weekend, so make sure you have your notification bell on for my channel so you don't miss out when I do go live. If that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to come drop by and say hi. I do appreciate it. Always happy to have a chat. As always though, for the betting guides, timestamps are in the description and the comment section below if you guys want to skip to anything in particular. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. What you're looking at here are the lists of favorites and underdogs for the entire card, and like I always say, this is just to show you guys who I actually ended up picking to win on this card and how many of those picks were underdogs and favorites. If you haven't come here from my full card predictions and breakdown video for this card, where I talk in detail about all my reasoning for all my fighter picks, please go and check that out if you want some additional information on why I've made the picks that I've made. And if you have come from that video, like I always say, thank you for supporting the channel and watching both the videos, guys. I do appreciate it. It does mean a lot. I will now highlight in green who my picks were for this card. And as you can see, I went pretty big on this card in terms of picking underdogs, almost 50-50 picks in terms of picking favorites and dogs again this week. And that's just because I truly believe a lot of these underdogs can get wins in their fights. I believe, as of the time of this recording as well, Claudio Puelles and Joaquim Silva have gotten closer to even in odds now, along with Alexander Hernandez and Diego Ferreira doing the same. I really do think Diego Ferreira should be even a slight favorite in his fight, and I think he even gets the finish in his fight, potentially in the later rounds. Now that you guys have seen all my picks for this card, let's now move on to my strong favorites and solid underdog section. As you can see here, for the strong favorite section, I've picked Alessandro Costa, Tatiana Suarez, Dusko Todorovic, and Jean Silva. And honestly, you could even add in Jared Gordon as well, maybe, to this, because I do think he wins this fight, but these are the four that I did list. The numbers next to the fighters' names are just the return on them if you were to bet on them. So for example, if you were to bet $100 on Jean Silva to win, it would net you a profit of $57 overall. And for my American viewers, as far as I know, when he has the -175 next to his name, that's how much money you have to bet on the fighter to win $100 profit on your bet. Let's now jump into the solid underdogs I've chosen for this card. And I've personally chosen Rodrigo Cezinando, Jesus Aguilar, Diego Ferreira, and Kwang Lee as my picks for solid underdogs on this card. I do really think all these guys have a good chance of getting it done this weekend because of just so many factors. Rodrigo Cezinando, he keeps up a solid pace. The dude hits very hard. He's going to have a big grappling edge going into this fight as well. Jesus Aguilar has proven to be a tricky guy in the UFC, and Luis Gurul has yet to win a fight in the UFC. So honestly, could see Aguilar winning this one, and not only winning it, but getting a sub as well. Diego Ferreira feels like he might be the best underdog on the card personally for me right now. And lastly, Kwang Lee is experienced, and I don't see him getting ragdolled by the UFC newcomer since he has a pretty solid grappling base of his own. If you guys do want to know more in general about all these picks and all my other fighter picks, like I already said in the video, go check out my full card predictions and breakdown of every single fight on this card. I'll put a link to it somewhere here on the video. It should be in the top right corner or in the description of the video. Now we're on to my locks of the card section, guys. This week, I have ended up choosing Jean Silva as my favorite lock of the card. And honestly, I was close to putting someone like Jared Gordon in here. And maybe it's because I'm letting people get to me about picking Silva on this card. So many people are making good points about this being a massive step up in competition for Silva, and how Diego has done so well against the best of the best in the division like Volkanovski and Movsar Evloev, and Silva just hasn't versed anyone near their level. But I just think if you look at their talents, if you look at their styles and how they match up against each other, it just looks so bad for Diego Lopes here unless he catches him and puts Jean Silva away. I don't see it being competitive on the feet, and the majority of the time, I see Jean Silva dominating unless it gets fully scrappy, technique for technique, Silva is just the better fighter in my opinion. But that is why Gene Silva is my lock of the card for the favorites. Let's move on now to my underdog lock of the card. And as you guys know, I have quite a few people to choose from since I picked so many underdogs outright this week. But if you guys have been paying attention, I've been pretty outspoken about how good I feel about Diego Ferreira as an underdog. I think maybe he has a bad first round against Alexander Hernandez potentially, but I really am envisioning him putting a beating on him in the second and third rounds of their fight together. I think he potentially gets a KO in the third round by keeping the pressure up and taking advantage of a slowed down Alexander Hernandez. That's my reasoning for picking Diego Ferreira as my underdog lock of the card, guys. Moving on now to the high risk, high reward section of the video. And this is a section where I highlight one fighter on the card that I think has completely juiced odds relative to their chances of winning. It could be a fighter I haven't even necessarily picked to win in my predictions video, but it's someone that I think has a better chance to succeed than the odds makers do say. The fighter I have chosen for this week is actually Jesus Aguilar. He is an underdog that I did pick to win on this card, and it's because I truly believe he's being underrated in this matchup to a degree for how big of an underdog he is. He's a tricky fighter to handle. He's wild on the feet, quite powerful with his punches as well. The dude might be one of the best at snatching up a quick submission like a guillotine too. For the high risk bet, I did start off with the moneyline bet on him. If he does manage to have success on the feet here whilst looking for opportunities to grapple and find the submission, this bet seems actually pretty solid in my opinion. For a very high risk bet, I do have him winning by submission, and this isn't very crazy to me since if he does win this fight, it's most likely by a submission as well. Now for the insane risk bet, I do have him to win in round 1, and I don't think it's actually a super insanely crazy bet. I think he's genuinely a wild dude, and he always seems to like to scrap from the get-go with the striking and the grappling. For a safe-ish bet though, if you've been watching these videos for the past few weeks, you know what's coming. I like the spread bets plus 3.5 rounds. That personally would be the bet I would go with. I just don't see him getting finished in this fight, and at a minimum, he should win 1 round. That's it for this section of the video. Let's now move on to the personal bets I have on this card. And here they all are for you guys, my current personal bets I have on this card, so you can check them all out. There are many different types of bets here, as you can see, so I'll run you through all of them right now. The hidden bet in white is the subscribers bet of the week, and I'll reveal it to you right now, guys. I have actually ended up choosing this person here, and as you can see, this isn't even from a YouTube comment. This is actually from my TikTok page where I post my weekly main card picks for the UFC. This nice dude put his own bet in here in the comments section, and it is a parlay with Tatiana Suarez, the Alexander Hernandez Diego Ferreira fight to go over 1.5 rounds, and the Jared Gordon Rafa Garcia fight to also go over 1.5 rounds. I do want to say though, unfortunately, I couldn't really get the under 1.5 round bet specifically on Sportsbet or Bet365, and that's because I don't know what's going on, but they are just not offering that 1.5 under for what seems to be only the Alexander Hernandez versus Diego Ferreira fight. Every other fight I could find, but not theirs. So instead, I did go to Sportsbet and chose to do the start round 2 prop for both these fights, just at a bit of a cut in odds. So sorry about that, dude. I do hope you still like being featured on the video. Just a bit of a change there with that bet. But that bet, of course, has now been added to the guide, and thank you to the subscriber who commented this bet, and thanks to everyone who's just been supporting my videos in general. I do appreciate it a lot. And if you do want to be the subscribers bet of the week for next week's betting guide and featured in my videos, please leave your comment in the comment section below of the next prediction and breakdown video for your chance to be featured in the next betting guide. I'll start reading out the bets now, and we can start with the prop section. And something I do want to say is I hope you guys like the new layout for the bets. One of my subscribers pointed out to me that I should probably put in the American bet odds on the page as well. So I did that the best I can, and I changed the layout to fit everything and tried to just clean it up a little bit. So I hope you guys do like it. We've got the subscribers bet of the week, of course, here. It is the parlay at the top I've already mentioned. I've also got Gene Silva by KO, and I really do think he can crack the granite chin of Diego Lopes in this fight. I don't think this fight goes the distance regardless of who you think wins, so maybe it could even be better just to bet on it to not go the distance, but I'm pretty sure the odds are just atrocious for that specific bet. Next, we have Jared Gordon, Dusko Todorovic, and Alessandro Costa in a parlay, and I just think all these guys should win their fights in my opinion, so I chucked them all together at decent odds. Next, I have Claudio Puelles by submission plus the fight to go under 1.5 rounds. And this is a pretty risky one, but I've been having this feeling that the fight ends early, and I think because Claudio Puelles snatches up something after securing the takedown. You guys will notice the rest of my prop bets this week, they are all super risky, and I've put a good amount of units in the single fighter bets this week instead. But if these props hit, we get paid huge, guys. I have my main card parlay as always, and it consists of Diego Ferreira, Kwang Lee, Kelvin Gastelum, Jared Gordon, Rob Font, and Gene Silva. Lastly, for the prop side of the guide, I thought this parlay looked pretty cool, and it was bet boosted on Bet365 for better odds. It is for the fights to not go the distance on 6 fights in particular, and I will put them up on screen for you guys right now. Cezinando Donchenko, Costa Correa, Reese Dumas, Aguilar Garul, Suarez Lemos, and Puelles Silva. And all these fights need to not go the distance for this bet to cash, guys. Keep that in mind. Now we can move over to the main bets I have on this card. These are all my single fighter bets I did have this week. I've got my underdog lock of the card in Diego Ferreira as a bet, and I've already explained a lot on why that is earlier in the video, so I won't break it down again, guys. I'll save you guys some time. I've also got a bet on Rodrigo Cezinando. I really do think he can win this fight on the feet to an extent, but then he will secure the clinch and work his grappling in this fight. I've also got a bet on Jesus Aguilar. I just think he's overall a pretty solid underdog, and he's got a solid chance to win by decision or submission in this fight. Same thing for the next bet with Kwang Lee. He's facing a UFC newcomer that is mostly a grappler. I think it's not the worst matchup for him. Claudio Puelles as well just seems like a decent dog, since I think he's got more finishing ability, at least on the ground, than Joaquim Silva. I do also have a full unit on Rob Font, and I do think he's just been notoriously tough for a lot of top dudes, and David Martinez hasn't versed anyone close to Font's level, and this is a shorter notice matchup for him. Now, lastly, my last bet is actually not even on the UFC, but it is on Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez in their fight together, and that fight is also happening this weekend at the same time of Noche UFC is going down. I will be live streaming a fight companion for that card, guys, so I am keen to see how these fights all play out. But I did, in fact, pick Crawford to beat Canelo, guys, as an underdog. If you want to see my full breakdown of that fight, Canelo versus Crawford, you can check out this video here. I will leave a link to it in the description. That's it for the bets really though, guys. Good luck to everyone with their bets. I hope you guys enjoy the card this weekend. That's it for Larry's full card betting guide for Noche UFC, Lopes versus Silva. If you guys like the videos and you want to see more of it, please leave a like on the video and leave a comment if you truly do like the videos. You want to give me some feedback as well. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.